Hello and welcome to Valkenburg in the Netherlands. On this Christmas adventure we're going to discover Europe's oldest, largest and most visited Christmas market. Well, underground at any rate. That's right, it's underground for Christmas market in Valkenburg. Just to let you know where we are, 6 miles to the east is Germany, Aachen, where we were in our previous show, and we're also only about 6 miles away from Belgium. So we're right at the heart of Europe. And this is a very special place, so let's go and explore. Although very closely related, the Dutch language isn't always easy for us. For example, this river, it's spelt G-E-U-L, but it's pronounced something like Yeul, Yeul, I don't know. Anyone who sees my films knows that I have a thing about creative city architecture, and these benches are great examples. I love this one. It says in Dutch, Dromen van een betere wereld, which means dream of a better world. Though Valkenburg is unmistakably Dutch, I mean, you've got pancakes, you've got the gabled houses, but despite that there are some distinct differences. First of all, most of the houses look a kind of light yellow or white colour, not the normal brickwork you see in the Netherlands. What's the reason for that? Well, all of the caves under the hills are basically made of chalk, and as a result the stone that's used is called marl, or something like that in Dutch, and you get this beautiful pale yellow appearance. So that gives Valkenburg a very distinctive look. And the other thing, which I'm sure we'll discover later, is that we're in the only part of the Netherlands that genuinely has hills. We're 10 miles away from Vaals, which is the hilliest place in the entire country, and there's a hill just behind me with a castle on top. That's definitely not very Dutch. For a small town of around 16,000 people, there really is an extraordinary choice of cafes. I don't know, I can count 20, 25 just within a street's distance, and that obviously reflects how many tourists come here in the summer to enjoy the relatively hilly landscape, and also to these incredible Christmas markets. People walking by and waving. That's nicer than what they generally do towards YouTubers. And here we are, outside arguably Europe's most unusual Christmas market. This market means we need to put our hard hats on and go underground with Santa. Kerstmarkt, that's Dutch for Christmas market. What's definitely interesting is that there are 70 kilometres of tunnels underneath Valkenburg. But I'm sure that the Christmas market's not 70 kilometres long, and they give you a nice little map to help you around at the entrance as well. The Christmas market stretches over 2 kilometres, I've read on the leaflet, and what's really nice as well is every so often there are these little signs which show you what's above you, above earth, so you always know roughly where you are if you've walked around town beforehand. And here's something rather lovely that you can do as well. For a small donation to charity, you get a bauble, you can write a message in it to your loved ones, hang it on any one of the 500 Christmas trees that are in these tunnels. A lovely way to think about family and friends at this time of year. It's really quite extraordinary. These are huge caves, and you see all of the Christmas trees around me, all beautifully lit up in white lights. There are actually over 500 Christmas trees down here, and 12 kilometres, yes, 12 kilometres of these little white lights. But it's nice, it's not garish, it's really tasteful, and the whole atmosphere is superb. Another little thing as well is that if you come on Wednesday afternoons there's a programme of entertainment for children, so that's definitely the day to bring the little ones along. And here there's a Dutch cheese store. It's probably a good thing to store cheese underground, isn't it?
We started here with one kind of cheese 18 years ago. This is with my brother. This is a farmer cheese made by the farmer's house with raw milk. You see all the different flavors. We have with pesto herbs inside, with nettle, sun-dried tomatoes. And over the years we got a lot of questions. Do you have old cheeses? We have award-winning old cheese here. This is like a parmesan with Dutch cheese. Yeah, and then we expanded a little bit the section with goat cheeses and a mountain cheese from Switzerland. Yeah,
I have one more question. We are underground in
Yeah.
caves. Is that a good place to store cheese?
yeah. It's perfect climate because it's always 12 degrees inside, and for the cheese it's perfect. It's like not too cold like a fridge, because then it loses the flavor. But for storing food it's perfect.
So it would be best to leave them all year here in the cave.
Yeah, it's possible. Well, I'm not all year here in the cave, but yeah.
Okay.
But you see, this part is a little bit more high, and
Yeah.
it's like the Roman part. This is more air in the front of the cave. It's smaller, lower, so the temperature there goes up. So I'm never there. I cannot work there with cheeses.
Yeah.
This is the perfect spot for our place. You see, this was 2 levels, and one collapsed like 1200 years, 1500 years ago. That's why it's so high compared to the other part of the cave. I would suggest to start with the 1-year-olds.
Okay.
And this is like still a little bit creamy, also has the
Very
salt
creamy.
crystal. So
I
yeah.
like the salt as well.
Ah.
And then this is
And this is same cheese, only 2 years further matured.
so 3 years old.
Yeah, 3 years old, and it's, yeah, we say it's almost like a parmesan, but then with Dutch cheese. Also, this kind of cheese you cannot buy in Holland in supermarkets. You have to go to a
Yeah.
specialist. Yeah.
You can taste like the parmesan, and it has that
Yeah.
different texture.
Yeah, very
But
nice.
I would say the difference is this is creamier, much
This is
creamier.
yeah, true. Yeah, it's like a parmesan with Dutch
In fact,
cheese.
it's possibly better.
Yeah, maybe. Don't blame, I get all the Italians here.
Thank you.
Vrolijke kerstfeesten en een gelukkig nieuwjaar. Allemaal.
Dank u wel.
Alsjeblieft.
I've been lucky enough to visit lots of Christmas markets in my time, but I've never seen anything quite like this. And to think that all of these caves were dug by men, by people, and all the way back to Roman times, it really is quite unique. My honest recommendation is to come down here to Valkenburg in the Netherlands before Christmas. I mean, just look at this entrance to the caves, it's incredible. And the prices are quite fair, I think. €9 for adult admission during the week, €10 at the weekend, and for children, €5 and €6 respectively. Decent opening hours, most days 10 a.m. in the morning until 7 p.m. in the evening, but you may want to check that out. A genuinely slightly hilly landscape for you. To be straight with you, I never ever expected to get slightly puffed going up a hill of the Netherlands, but then I've never been to Valkenburg before. Let's get up to this castle, it's a real hill. And here we can see the chalk cliffs which the stone comes from for all the houses below in town. Whew, I'm puffed. Here's what's left of the castle, built in 1115, and the ruins are quite extensive, but it costs €10 to get in, and I frankly think that's too much for this castle. Anyhow, in 1672 it was actually destroyed by the Dutch themselves in order to protect the town against a French advance. I hope you've enjoyed this Christmas film, and if so, please like it, consider subscribing to Travel in the Know, and don't forget to ding that bell, which is very appropriate at Christmas, for notifications. That's what Santa will be doing. We'll see you on another adventure soon. So, from Valkenburg in the Netherlands, it's time to say tot ziens, which means goodbye.